Yeah. We are talking about the supply. Once it clears this 314,
Mm-hmm.
it's most of the supply is 2 years ago. So there is enough time has passed, for this base to form. 2 years is a huge base.
Okay.
So this is good enough base, and this supply, let's see how many days would that be. And I don't think all of them are, don't have to count all of them. That's about 127 bars. So probably let's say about uh, we do 60-40, that's about 70-80 days of supply. But again, the most important part is it is so far away from your current price, and you had a really long base at that point. So this, a lot of O'Neill based traders, or the growth traders, they'll all come in as soon as it hits either this, as soon as this breaks about 275,
Mm-hmm.
or I mean that's one way to look at it. It breaks about 275, you buy some
Okay.
and see if it goes all the way to. But this is what happens generally because of all this supply. Even here, this is not going to go straight up. There
Mm-hmm.
is a good there is a good possibility that it's moving higher because of what is anticipated on 8/8, the robo taxi that Musk has been talking about. So this might go up until another month or so, but it
Mm-hmm.
might chop right here. If it chops here, it will probably chop right here.
Okay.
And
250.
that, yeah, I mean, this will take care of whatever the supply, whoever is selling in this area. This is what happens when you don't sell, when the trend breaks. For example, let's say if you have bought somewhere here, the best place to sell is to when the trend breaks. So as soon as it breaks, this is where you get out.
Okay.
Okay, if you don't get out here, you will
Mm.
have to wait from here. That's a long time to wait. You can sell here. That's 125 days.
Wow.
That's over 6 months.
Yeah.
These are trading days, right? So yeah. So yep,
Almost.
that's 7 months, right? So you would have to go through this entire thing unless you puke somewhere here, you
Mm.
know, because everything else is going up and yours is not. Uh, that's why these trend lines help a lot. But anyway, my assumption is that this will probably go somewhere like this. Not maybe not in a straight line. Something like this.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Maybe a higher high. So every time this will become smaller and smaller. That
Okay.
means the supply is being absorbed by the demand and
Okay.
probably move higher. If
Okay.
if it doesn't move higher, there is a
Mhm.
probability it will probably come back and uh, close this. One of the most important aspects I have learned is that when a stock goes up parabolically or straight up,
Mhm.
like we are seeing right now, if the news is not good enough, it's going to come back all the way to 205.
Okay.
So yeah, and that's a part. I mean, this is what I was talking about, right? In FSLR, from here to here, there is no volume. It went straight up, and
Mm.
when it couldn't move higher, it broke and came straight down. That's because there is not a lot of volume. There is not a lot of buyers here at all. I mean,
Mm.
the how many days of buying happened here? Just one, two, three.
Mm.
So it took what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days came back down.
Mm.
So Yeah, but this one actually is looking good. I don't know. This was in my focus, but I was not paying attention. Well, also the reason is we have too many positions right now. Anyways,
KP, how do you identify the target? For example, you're drawing the 314 line and everything based on previous moves. Now the question is, when you say supply is on the left side where people have already bought at certain price level, and are they
Yep.
still in the market holding them, or maybe like the sell side is less than the people who are still holding onto the stock?
Don't make it that complicated. So assume that they haven't sold it. That's it. Assume they
Okay.
haven't sold it, and also think about it. A lot of so when the stock from here starts moving higher, all these guys are sellers as soon as they break even. That is very common. Most of the retail traders, that's exactly what they do. When if something went down, let's say you bought somewhere here and it went down 50%, right? So it has to double for you to make that money, right? So as soon as you get your money back, you get out. That's how humans are. That's how most of the thinking process is. I mean, I used to be one of those guys. So that's all supply. Not only that, all the guys who have been buying since during this period, this is all accumulation, right? And as soon as it doubles, I mean, which it will very soon. How much is that? That's 96. Yeah, 99%, 96, 99%. So if it goes here, all these guys have doubled their money. So, or, it doesn't matter where you buy. Even if you buy here, you have to measure from here because you will start to see the selling when a stock doubles. So,
Okay. Now, how do you identify the target beyond that resistance level?
targets are so many different ways. I mean, you might have to look into what is called a target of a flag. I mean, you can find those things in the on Google. So you have head and shoulders target based on what the what kind of setup you're seeing. You can figure out what the targets are. But for me, the best and the easiest way are the Fibonacci retracements,
Okay.
or in this case, it's the extensions. So for this one, I said, as I was saying, let me remove this. Too many. This is an important level. Let me check. No. Yeah, this is an important level. Let's keep that. I don't need this for now. Get rid of. So a swing high and swing low is all you need right now. So this was the swing high and this was the swing low. That's the best way, or I mean, when those swings are easy to read, those are the ones that you use. So 161% is generally significant, or the 61% during the, let's say, during this period, right? When it came down, that 61% is always significant. When you can only calculate 61% from here. So this 180 is significant level. So as soon as look at how many times it tested 180 down and then from the top, then once it started moving higher, it just went up. So that 61% is important. It could be because too many people are following, but that's how it has been. So you have a swing high, you have a swing low. That 161% is your first target. Even though I always put in the 150, just in case, but most of the time, for most of the big stocks, yeah, 61% is important. Then the next one is 271.
So if there is
The
a good
other,
stock,
Yeah,
Sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Anything that has a lot of volume, basically.
No, if I'm looking at the start KP, so I think
Yeah.
let's just say I'm adopting only a flip strategy to get to buy the stock when it reaches zero, like what is it, 0%, right? So if I'm
Yeah.
looking at
Yeah.
Tesla and then
Yeah.
let's just say it came down to 138, and if I draw the flips, if it shows 0%,
Yeah.
is that a indication like a buy signal? Like is it say like can we take that as a like a green light to get into a stock, and then probably obviously we're gonna set a stop. But is that a right entry point for any stock in as a thumb rule?
So let's talk about that. So last year I was only trading breakouts. Believe me, nothing worked. And that's the same case even today. Things are not working out in a bull market, in a pure bull market. Amazon wouldn't do this. Okay. It broke out, moved sideways. Again, it broke out and it again moved sideways. This is not how it's going to be. In a bull market, just go straight up. At least after it breaks out, the first target, I mean, this is a very small target, right? I mean, let's see how much, let's say, that's 9%, okay? This 9% shouldn't take this long. It's 4.5% from the breakout. And it took what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not doing it. This is not how the bull markets are. That's what I was saying. In a bull market, you wouldn't get a chance to get in again.
No, it's not.
So,
Okay,
so
that point.
No. What I'm saying is, right now, to answer your question for Tesla, right? Buying in these levels seems to be more important rather
Okay.
than. So generally in a bull market, I would probably buy as soon as it breaks out. But right now, those things are, it's breaking out and failing, breaking out and failing. In this case, it did not. But as soon as it breaks out, the next day it's coming down. That's how it has been. So that's why what I'm doing is I'm buying during these stages while it's consolidating is and about to break out. But what is the negative side of that? This is what happens. We tried to buy while it was turning around. And guess what? We got a sell rating and it came down. So this also happens. But all we can do is, get rid of the ones that are not working and just work with the ones that are working. So to answer your question, that's why I'm using the 100-day, 50-day, 200-day, all of them. And I'm trying to look at this one. So this broke out, okay? And first, this was a false signal, went up, next day it went up, and again it came back. I am assuming right now it is coming down and testing the 20-day and it will probably go up. That's why I didn't sell. Generally, a loss of 8%, I am out. So for me, this is something I do on a regular basis. Selling here was a bad idea, okay? And probably buying here was a bad idea either. But that's how the market is. It's not, in a bull market, this would have been probably be somewhere at 53 or at least above 50. But it's not. So right now, so the context of the market, how is the market reacting, is the only important part right now. I mean, I'm seeing setups all the time. They're failing all the time. So think about this. I used to, when I buy a breakout, we used to see 7, 8, 9, 10% moves in probably 2-3 days. And you trim that, you buy the next one. That's how it used to be. Right now, I don't see anything that's moving double digit at all. So, I mean, not the best market, but that's how it was while during this phase, this entire phase. How much was it? That's 12% in 60 bars. That's about 3 months. So in 3 months, it went 12%. And look at that. I mean, we are looking at the index, of course, but from here to here, it obviously everybody is looking at this and they are like, it's up 34%. It should, this is what's happening right now. There is not a lot of conviction in the market to buy it, but it's not coming down at all. So I'm assuming this is going to go much higher. And at some point, you will see everybody jumping in. And there is, I was just telling to a friend of mine, the way this is moving, if all the stocks join the mega cap, look at that. That's the mega cap ETF. Look at this one and look at SPY. It's not the same at all. So if everything else joins in this one, and if this goes parabolic, we could then get some serious, whatever 5-10% correction. I'm assuming 10% correction, but right now I don't see any possibility of this going down. But it's grinding higher, and that's not the best market that you want to be in. And the other day I was telling you that I have been hesitant to get into options because of this. So
okay. So what is wrong with that again? It's grinding higher, right? So are you expecting when you're comparing
no, I mean
max?
the grinding higher means there is a lot of rotation. So if you are buying stocks, your stocks may not go up much faster, or so the stocks that we own will go up a little, then it will pull back. Something the other sectors will pick up and they will go higher. So that's not the best markets you buy options in. You want options is where the expected move. Okay, how about we think about options this way? So let's look at Tesla. Well, I mean, actually, this move, the region, these when things move this fast. So, for example, a 9-day move, right? A 9-day move is expected to be $18. Okay, how much did it move in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? In 7 days, it moved $33. So the expectation versus the move is where you make the most money. But if it moves sideways, the options will lose the value. That's how. I mean, I've been trading. I mean, even though I'm not posting all of them, I'm trying a little bit of options, but they're not working. I mean, they're not moving at all. JB Morgan, I think this is wasted. I mean, maybe we should have started here, I guess, but this broke out, and second day it's not going anywhere. Well, I mean, I still do have the 210 options. I think I paid like 40 cents. This morning it was worth like 80 cents. I tried to sell, I couldn't. The best ones are probably right now selling. They always have the momentum, and they're in a sideways move. If you look at SMH or even Nvidia, right? It went straight up, and you got this big candle, and you got a similar candle. So all we are looking for is a move from here to here. It could either be a retest of 239 or a lower high. Okay, here it is lower high, but if you look at Nvidia, this was a retest. So we could get a retest. I am assuming based on this. Based on this, 65-minute chart, if you consider this as a base, so So this is the bottom, and you have, let's see, what is the low? Low is 118.04. The low here is 118.83. That's a higher low. Now you got another higher low, another higher low. Okay. And then today it broke out. So that's a high. Yeah, this is what I do in my spare time. So this makes it easier for me to look at what's happening. So you have higher lows, and here you have lower highs, right? Now today that changed. So that's your lower high, and you got a higher high. So the trend has changed in the small base. So as soon as this breaks out, your target is, the first target is 134, second target is 138. So, and also, how much volume do we have between this and this? I can't see the daily here, but let's look here. It's it's not even 2 days, just 1 day. 1 day of drop, and everything is in this range again. So you just have 1 day of sellers. So as soon as this breaks, there's a good possibility it will, and as soon as it goes to 138, you will see a bunch of sellers coming in. It could go to 138, or it could just, test the 140. If it does the way what it has done, the last time, I'm assuming it will probably test the 140. So if it tests that previous high, will probably test the 140. Either it will reject or it will go higher, but either way, as soon as it tests, it will move sideways, or we'll see how the trend will appear again. But now this is a good base, and that's a breakout. Look at when the breakout happened on earnings. So if you're not trading earnings, obviously you're going to miss something, which we do occasionally. But I'm assuming it will go over there, come back. And whenever I'm trading these options, right, it is frustrating that things are not working. That's why I'm trading mostly stocks and taking 2%, 3%, 5%, whatever I get. So far it's been okay. I mean, last month I was at 5%, this month already up 2%. So I'm fine with that until this becomes a bull market again. I don't know. I was talking a lot. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, so I understood. I mean, I can see there's forming a base.
Yeah.
I think that the base will act as a support as well, right? And
Yep.
then,
Well, I mean, the base is okay. When somebody says it's a base, the reason you have a base is because there has been accumulation during that period. So as soon as it breaks the base, okay, there will be less number of sellers. The only sellers you see here are the ones right here. Okay, if you are generally, people don't sell when they are profitable, unless that profit is a lot, like 30, 40, 50% profits. Then yes, they will sell again. So in this case, right, from here to here, that's about 86% more. So even from the earnings, that's about 48% or 50% more. So when you have 50% or 40% more, that's when we will start to see the seller. And the other way that we were looking at, those are the exhaustion gaps basically. So
the 140 level, that's where people started the big, the institutions started selling at 140.
No, that's not institutions. Institutions don't sell. Institutions don't sell like this at all. These are the retailers, just retailers. If institutions sell, they will sell for months.
Okay.
So when do you think if somebody has to enter, for longer term for NVIDIA, what is the level they should be watching KP here? 140?
Well, no, right now it's hard to say. Well, there are two scenarios that could happen here.
Mhm.
Number one is, and see, we cannot forget that NVIDIA is up like 160% so far this year.
Yes.
So if it forms a base like this,
Mhm.
I mean, this looks similar to this one. So if it forms a base like this, then you could probably buy while it's turning around, while you are, the 20 days turning around. I know the problem here is that this is hindsight, right? But this is where I would buy. Hold on 1 second. This is where I would buy. Why? You had a few days of consolidation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a breakout. So if you buy here, you could have your stop here, or if you want more, you could probably have a stop here. That's what 13. That's too much. So yeah, you could probably have a stop here, or even below the 20-day, because it does. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was.
So it's 8.5%. This is fine. I mean, anything single digit is fine. But I mean, once you buy, you will look at how the price action is, and the price action in this case, as soon as you buy, it never got below that candle at all. So the best stocks does that. When the accumulation starts to happen, it just goes straight up.
But the target is, I mean, re-entering at where you mentioned, KP, that's way below target, right? I don't think it's going to hit that unless it's a huge market is down. Only then you can. Is that I can looking at my phone? Is that 96?
This one, yeah, 95. Oh no, I'm talking about where to buy. I mean, I'm not saying you would buy here. I'm saying if a base like this forms here.
Okay. So depending on so the consolidation. And
I mean,
everything.
yeah. I mean, so the reason we don't buy during this period is because it took how long? It took 53 bars. So that's from March to May, right? So let's look at weekly candles. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 weeks of base. That's good enough. So if something like this happens again, yeah, it will go. But there is the best move happened right here. I mean, this was a double. 98%. Now the second time, it's 45%.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you have anything on the long term KP NVIDIA?
Well, I mean, not right now, not in my long portfolio that I share with you guys. But the thing is, what I did is one of my IRAs, I bought all semis in the account.
Okay.
I mean, so that one has been doing okay. I mean, that thing is like up like 50% something. But I'm not trading it at all. And NVIDIA is up like 155% right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea for that is I'm not going to trade it. I'm going to just sit on it until the semis start to lose the growth, when the growth slows. So until then, I'm just going to sit on it.
And that will not happen few years at least.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to do there is, let's say, 30% correction in NVIDIA.
Hmm.
Okay, 35% correction in NVIDIA. I see, one of the ways is that when it tops, I mean, this happens over and over and over. Let's look at the ones that we know before this. Anytime something tops, it either goes back. So here is your top, went back, tested, came down. I don't know how important this is, but generally that high is tested or it goes all the way there and starts to come down. So even if you didn't sell any of this time, when you get a bounce, you get out probably. I would probably get out right here, 260. So either it will make a lower high, okay, or the test and fail. I mean, this one is testing this level, but it moves up a little higher and then it fails.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as it fails, you should figure out, something is not right. I mean, that's what I thought it would happen today in QQQ. It didn't, it just went up.
Mm-hmm.
However, this is obviously a daily chart. It went up, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is a possibility that we could see on Monday it could move open below 486.
Okay.
I've seen that happen way too many times.
Yeah.
Because all these guys, they are trading when there is no volume. I mean, not a lot of people are out there trading this. But if it breaks this 486 level, that's not good for the market. We could see some decent sell-off. But again, until that happens, I'm going to stick with our trades. Whenever the breakout fails, the moves are generally much faster. I didn't think we would move above this level at all, but we did in 3 days. All the people who sold here, all the people who sold here, they are all feeling like they are full. And if this goes up couple more days, all these guys are going to come in and buy them. That's how the FOMOs happen, because they all feel like they missed the action.
But the candles are just like a one-day action, right? Where do you see the volume?
Volume is right here. No, I mean, today is half a day. Obviously, there won't be a lot of volume. And we know for a fact that over, short weeks, the volume is always small. Wall Street is not there. Managers are not trading. This is all retail trading. They take the entire week off.
The volume at the bottom bar for the volume, right?
These are the volume.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm looking at the mobile. Okay.
Yeah, I can the target calculation. I'll see the things. I might have to look into a few things, but most of the time it's either a flag or a head and shoulders pattern. But for me, it's mostly the equal amount of. I mean, that you could probably do that with fib levels. If you, and then fib levels act the best, the way I know. So if this move happens again, so it's either going to 513 or 530. And that's 20 or 40 bucks. That's 8% move. That's a big move. It goes all the way to 830. Just off 530. Yeah.
Can we look at Netflix?
Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah. This is exactly what I was talking about. It's not going anywhere. I mean, it broke out. This is the place where it actually broke out. And we could even say, even this.
Is it trying to form a third base up there?
Not really a base. Hold on 1 second. Um, so so you have, this is a base, that's a pivot, which is basically consolidation, sideways consolidation. Okay, so this is the place where you would buy. If not over here, probably this is probably a better place to buy, as it 624 or so. So generally in a bull market, this should have been probably at 730. How long will it take for this base to form? I mean, this is not what you would see in a bull market, but yes, to answer your question, this is not really a base. I mean, this is just a consolidation. It's consolidating above the 20-day moving average. So that's a lot of consolidation. In fact, the two stocks that worked best for us in the last 2 weeks, look at this one. Now that's acceleration straight up. And then we actually bought, I think, on this day, I think, but still it went up 15%. This one, and this is not even a base. The actual base for this stock is somewhere here. Maybe this can be considered a base. Yeah, this is probably considered a base. So that's a buy point, maybe. Maybe that's a small base, but the bigger base happened right here. And since then, we are not getting chance or any bigger base are formed. I'm sure a lot of people are missing the buy points because there are no bases. If you read O'Neill's book or anything, that's what he would say. I mean, you'll probably get in here and you'll just stick onto it. That's it. Now I am buying these based on the price actions right now. That's it. This is not a base. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 days, that's 2 weeks. That's not a base. You need at least 8 weeks of base. So, but I'm buying whatever is strong right now. And this thing went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days straight up. And that's why. And this is what I was saying, right?
Does, KP?
Yeah.
What is this company does?
Yeah, the aerospace, defense aerospace related company. Yeah.
Interesting.
And AVAV was one of them, but they screwed up their earnings, so it came right back. And CAMT, this is probably one of the best semis right now that's moving straight up. Look at that. This is where the base is.
Almost doubled from there.
Say it again.
Almost doubled from there.
Yeah. This is what you would see. Actually, I think one of the Rajshekhar or somebody bought it here. I don't know if he still kept it or not, but you buy here, you don't have to sell at all. I mean, it never even broke the 20-day. Anyways.